For all intents and purposes, I just filled this huge pot for zero money. These have been in this cup for far too long. I've chosen old radish stems because I know they're going to be a pain in the compost pile. Second, I'm tossing in some damp moldy leaves just to get that leaf mold thing going on. The bacteria that's growing on these leaves will quickly break down the radish stems, and it'll set this bin up to be biologically diverse. I don't use fresh wood chips for the same reason I don't use fresh wood. If the wood is still green, it will pull bacteria from the container and use it to break itself down. The pull of the wood will be stronger than the pull of the plant, and the plant will suffer. Any excuse to go down to the creek and be in the woods, I'll take it. And today I'm gathering a few sticks to toss into the bottom of this container to fill up the rest of the space. I'll test the sticks as I choose them. If they don't break easily in my hand, I'll discard them because they're too green to be used for this process. In this small container, I don't want the plant to have to compete with anything else. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love me some sand, silt, and clay, and that's what's going in now. All of these fine particles will trickle down and fill in the spaces around the leaves and the radish stems. And when the sand, silt, and clay goes in, also in goes the minerals. But the minerals are still bound up. They're not plant soluble. I'll show you how we're going to release those in a moment. You see, this is high in clay content with the way it holds water. This is finished compost. This is aged biochar. I mean, when it was first done, it was just a pit of charcoal. So I didn't touch it at all for a full year. And in that year, the worms crawled in, and now it's inoculated biochar. Biochar goes in because of its amazing capacity to hold water and nutrients. For a while, I used rice hulls, and I'm not exactly sure why I went off of them. I think just because they lack nutrition. I've been sitting on this bale for 3 or 4 years. So now I'm working through it, doing stuff like this. The cool thing is it's been sitting so long that it's developed its own little ecosystem. So, and it goes. It won't add a lot of nutrition, but it will aerate the compost. A little bit more compost. This one has worms in it. I still had a little more room to fill, so I'm adding another bin of compost. This one is deeper in the compost pile, and I came up with a ton of worms. I don't want them all in here. So I'm going to pull out the bigger ones that I don't think would fare so well in this container and put them back in the compost. There's still a ton of worms in there. They'll breed. And they should be fine in there. These are all earthworms. A little bit of mycelium. But our gardens don't really, fungal dominant stuff is more for woody plants, like fruit trees. Ooh, yeah, I'll put this guy back. This is pure castings. I'll top it off with a layer of finished worm castings. I've got plenty, so I use plenty. But if you're watching this and you're not a worm farmer, the worm castings could be about 10% of your mix. I'm not particularly worried about grass seeds. And in a second, I'll show you why. It's ready for planting.
Whew, trying to be patient. Uh-oh.
It all works together. The wood, the leaves, they'll aerate the sand and the silt. If I just filled the bottom with sand, silt, and clay, it would be so compacted that it would defeat my
Probably
purpose here.
overplanting this pot. I might fill another one just like it and divide these in half.
Next season, I'll stir this entire pot, top it off with compost, and plant it again. And then I'll do it the season after that, and the season after that.
If nothing else,
This will
the
go
vines will
on
be
and on.
pretty. This is my second round. These are going in really late. I planted a round already, and they were eaten all the way down to the ground by the wood rats. So we'll try a pot this time. As time goes on and the bottom of the stuff rots, I can stir this and use this pot for several seasons. It should just get better and better. It's several days later,
A little over a week, I guess. And I just wanted to show you the weed seed situation. There. That's it. Thanks for watching. See ya.